Give you guys some value. Welcome in, Ryan. What's going on? What's going on? Damn. Alright, I'm hyped for this TikTok live. It's going to be a little bit shorter than we usually do it, but we just started it, so welcome in, everybody. Ask some questions down below. I've helped over 100 men and women transform their lives in my coaching practice. So, any questions you guys have when it comes to self-growth, trying to improve, we're here to answer it for you, give you advice, give you some actionable steps that will actually change your life. Brad, what time will you be on tomorrow? My work canceled. I have no idea. Tomorrow I have sessions from like 4 p.m. to like 9 p.m. So I might be on at like 9:15 EST tomorrow. What am I doing? We're on TikTok Live diving into self-growth. That's what we're doing. How to deal with lust. Don't demonize it. Don't pretend that it's a bad part of you. It just needs to be understood. A lot of the lust that you're experiencing is also it leads to love, right? You can lust after a partner. It can be a healthy experience. Don't forget about that. It's lust that's not integrated properly that feels like it drains you and allows you to start to manipulate people. But if you develop a deeper relationship with it, essentially meaning block the browsers, block the Instagram models, get rid of them. And it's usually a stimulus that comes in and then makes you feel a certain way, and then you start to do that, right? So that's what you want to dive into. Maddie said, this is free. Yes, we're on TikTok Live. Nobody has to pay me any money, and you guys are getting advice. So yes, it is completely free. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. We got about 45 minutes today before I got a call with my men's group, which I'm super excited for. So, welcome in. How do I become a life coach and give people advice? You're going to want to shoot me a DM about that. I can give you a bunch of in-depth details of how I did it for myself. Good vibes, bro. Glad it resonates. Where's Ryan? She is with her friends because she's going to be with me all weekend. We're going on a trip tomorrow. Well, no, she's coming over tomorrow, but we're going on a trip Saturday morning. What makes you feel like a person who can give advice? Well, I was diagnosed with depression at 13 years old, dealt with it until I was 16, and was able to completely overcome it. And for the last 7 years of my life, I've been obsessed with psychology, biology, philosophy, spirituality, and I've helped over 100 men and women in my coaching practice transform their lives. So that's what makes me feel like I can give you guys advice, and you guys get value from it. All right, let's see. Should I do... Okay, we already... No, if you're trying to get your ex-girlfriend back, you guys probably broke up for a reason, so don't be running back. What's going on, Tom? Nice to meet you. You're from Paris. Very nice. I've never been there. I will at some point. How do I dispense a friend because I don't want to do a big project with her? What do you mean dispense a friend? Not be friends with them anymore? Applied for 800 jobs and no job. I have 2 law degrees but don't want to be a lawyer. So what jobs are you applying to? Oh my god, so good. I'm happy for that. Glad it resonates. You missed the girlfriend lives? Maybe she'll be on live with me tomorrow, actually, since she'll be over at the time I'll be going live, so maybe we'll have a girlfriend live. I haven't had one in a while with her. Haven't done one in a while with her. Noah said, that wasn't a yes or no. I thought I have to fight for love, not give up. How is that advice? You're definitely trolling, brother. But if you have an ex-girlfriend and they don't want to be with you and you're trying to get them back, good luck with that. I'm giving you advice to move on with your life so you can actually find somebody that cares about you. Question you want to ask yourself is, why am I trying to get back into a relationship with somebody that doesn't want to be with me? There's internal insecurities that you have to work through. Why is my comment section frozen? Why can I not scroll? I'm literally stuck. My finger is on the screen. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Now it's working. All right, we're back. Now I can scroll up. You don't want to do a project with her, but she insists. Are you in school? Are you 15 years old? How old are you guys? And what project is this? Because you don't have to do a project with a friend, and if they don't want to be friends with you anymore because of that, that's a problem. Let's see. Yo, David's comment is crazy. TikTok flagged it, so we're not going to prove that. That's actually a wild comment. Kenzie, what's going on? Someone on YouTube asked, am I trans? I'm not. How do I get over my PTSD? Okay, deep question. How do I get over my PTSD from emotional blank from my ex? Deeply affects me to a point that... I didn't see the rest of your comment. But getting over that it's about rebuilding trust with yourself, and also it's going to span to you probably won't trust men anymore. But healthy masculinity and leadership will heal this for you. But again, there's going to be a lot of stuff you're going to want to work through internally as well. Kenzie, this is going to be really deep, and I want to ask you some further questions about what you experienced before I just give you random advice. So, Kenzie, if you feel called for it, shoot me a follow and shoot me a DM walking me through some of the more in-depth details, and I'll help you out with this. My friend, some of you guys' comments are crazy. My friend has been whispering behind my back right in front of me, what should I do? You should confront them on it and say, why are you talking about me? What's going on? Right? Have a conversation about it. I was playing COD. I loved when I played COD. Before I quit video games. Someone blank out of rage. I took a picture. Okay, that's crazy, bro. How do I become rich and famous in one day? Can't help you out with that. Sonico, nice to see you. How are you? I'm doing good. How are you? Every time he needs to call me, I start crying. Well, yeah, if this is an ex-partner, why are you still talking to them? Or I don't know what your relationship is like with this person. How do I, okay. Too many troll comments. Throw some serious comments down here, guys. 15, signs for a big project, but I know if we do it together, we're going to fight. So tell her that. Hey, I feel like we're going to have some disagreements if we do this project together, so let's do it with other people. Can I borrow... Twizzler on YouTube said, can I borrow your Lamborghini? Sure, bro, I'll give you the keys. Yeah, no one's taking a Lamborghini, guys. No one's taking a Lamborghini. Sorry I saw the title. Oh, no worries at all. What's going on, Rebecca? How do I deal with the huzz swarming me every time I step outside? Well, you got options, so you got to choose. A man sent a blank picture to my girl. She was friends with him. I left her last week. Did you have a conversation with her about this? And did she want to receive that picture, or did she receive it randomly? Because maybe it's not her fault. But again, Billy, I don't know what the in-depth of this situation is. If you want to shoot me a follow and a DM about it, let's dive into it. How can you whisper behind someone's back in front of you? Because they don't care, and they want attention. Hi, nice to meet you. You too. What to do if your friends are always criticizing everything and everyone, including you? If your friends are criticizing everything, you have to confront them and have a conversation about their negativity bias. And if they refuse to ever be positive ever, then you just have to spend less time with them. It's not your job to convince people. You share a kid. Okay, if you share a child together, then okay, that makes sense as to why you guys are in communication. What's my religion? I'm not a part of a particular religion. I'm doing good. Thanks, mate. Handmade a Valentine's card for my boyfriend today. Very nice. I have my card on my bed. I have to write it out for my girl. I remember the comments when I joined. These comments are crazy. Yeah, these are legendary comments coming in. Let's see. Wisdom is the principal thing. Okay. To anyone experiencing women being rude, I got you. My mother-in-law is shady towards me. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. Well, yeah, people who are rude are very emotionally disconnected from themselves. Is it true men only fall in love once? No, that's just some social media talk. That's a complete lie. Men only fall in love once. No, that's not, no. No, just no. I don't really have any more in-depth explanation than that. Just no. I told my girl that communication is key, but she doesn't want to talk about her problems. Should I leave? I wouldn't advise you to just leave instantaneously. If you've had one or two conversations with her about this and she's struggling to open up, I wouldn't just leave. Have more in-depth conversations. Say, hey, it is a emotional need of mine in our relationship for me to connect with you and for us to, talk about the things we're both going through. And I feel disconnected from you if we're not doing that. And we got to figure this out together. Because if your needs continuously aren't being met in a relationship, yeah, you technically have no choice to leave. But don't just leave instantaneously. You guys gotta confront this, because you don't want to just leave and avoid the situation, because maybe she will grow. My girlfriend developed a crush on this guy during our 5-year relationship. Thoughts? If your girlfriend during your 5-year relationship developed a crush on another guy, she's either exceptionally disconnected from her feminine essence, and she's promiscuous, or you are not meeting her needs emotionally, sexually, whatever the case is, so now she's attracted to somebody else. But sorry, Sundu, if you want to shoot me a follow and a DM about the more in-depth situation, I'd love to help you out with it further. Also, I saw another life coach live. I think you were on his TikTok live, which is crazy. You could buy a Lambo and they would be like, but it's not 2026 model. Yeah, well, good thing I got the 2029 model. How do you express your skill? Well, if you have a skill, you're connected to it and you know how to do it, so you just do it. But I don't know what skill, like what skill are you talking about? Laura said, other question. I feel that something is going to do wrong because is everything good a lot? Can you rephrase that question? I lied to my girlfriend about going to grab a drink with a female. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Let me dive into this real quick. Wait, why did it? Hold on, my comments moved. I lied to my girlfriend about going to grab a drink with a female friend to stop calling her. She thinks I'm cheating. Wait, you lied to your girlfriend about going to grab a drink with a female friend to stop her calling me. So you're saying you told her that you were going for a drink and you didn't actually go for a drink? Or you said you weren't going for a drink and you did? Can you clarify that for me? But lying to your girlfriend about anything is basically unacceptable behavior. If you need to lie to your girlfriend to have freedom in your life, you're in the wrong relationship, brother. Um, is it? No, we already answered that question. The first love theory. Yeah, I don't buy it. That's why it's a theory. It's not fact. Hey, I'm sure some men just fall in love once, but well, actually, now that I think about it, I never truly loved any of my ex-girlfriends, but I really love my girl now, and I plan on being with her for the rest of my life. So, maybe my perspective's changed in 10 seconds. What do I do if my philosophy makes me see the world gray? How long have you been adopting this philosophy, and how long has it been present? Because sometimes in your philosophical journey, there comes a certain point in the beginning practices where you start to feel a little bit hopeless about reality. But that's only a learning curve. That's like it's a short period of time. If that is persisting, you're not going up the philosophical ladder. You're just staying stuck in one place, which you don't want to do. Do men really still think about their first love? I don't really think about my ex-girlfriends that much. Maybe once in a blue moon. Alec, what's going on? All right, let's see. How do you keep commenting, how do you express your skill? You got to tell me what skill you're talking about. My friends are always talking about dating, but I don't like that, and I feel like I'm late for something. I mean, Laura, didn't you just tell me you're like 15 years old? You're not late to the dating game. Don't let them convince you of that. Is hooking up with a friend, someone that doesn't want a relationship with you, a good idea? Well, I mean, look, I'm not a proponent of hookup culture. If you happen to want to hook up with them, I'm not going to stray you away from that. But if you're looking out of that hookup experience to then be in a relationship with them and you know that's not going to happen and you're going to feel emotionally damaged from it, pretty bad idea. Also, I mean, maybe you're like your first 1 to 3 hookup experiences are fun. After that, it's like, okay, I'm just running away from myself. And I don't feel like I'm deserving of love. And I can't find someone that's right for me. And is dating even going to work? Or are any of the women good? And it's like you just start to question your reality. So I'm not going to advise you to hook up with this person. But if you do, you do. Just don't expect anything from it. And if you attach some sort of feelings to them, it was your choice. Just remember that. I'm in love with someone who's had all of his firsts. Should I break up? Whoa, okay, hold on. I want to get you. I want to get you guys away from these absolutely delusional philosophies. I'm gonna assume that you're saying I'm in love with someone who has had all his firsts, meaning he slept with another girl, he has had his first kiss with another girl, he was emotionally attached to another girl before you. For you to say, should I break up if he's had this? That's completely delusional. Completely delusional. Why? Now, yes, there's something such as retroactive jealousy when you're jealous of your partner's past, and I've experienced this, and my girlfriend has experienced it. Like, it's something to experience, but you can have a conversation about it. You don't have to leave somebody. It doesn't mean that he doesn't love you if he's been attracted to another woman before and he slept with her. Because here's the thing, especially for men, a lot of guys can sleep with a girl, never talk to her ever again, and he's not emotionally attached to her. So, this guy that you're talking to now that you're in love with, he probably doesn't care about the girls from his past. So don't make it a big deal. That being said, if you feel a certain way about it, have a conversation with him about it. But do not just break up with him. That is not an intelligent thing, especially if you guys are genuinely in love. You're just self-sabotaging. For those of you guys that are throwing your comment down multiple times, do not do that. Throw your comment down one time, I'll get to you. Am I Russian? You look Russian. I am. Yo, YouTube comments are crazy, bro. Haha, yeah, I don't have people to talk to, hence why I'm on live looking for opinions. Absolutely. Would love to give you more opinions and perspectives. How to find my purpose? Well, you got to try more things. Oftentimes we don't find our purpose because we're sitting in our mind. How do I find my purpose? What do I do? And you're not trying anything. Try random things. Pick up an instrument. Research different philosophies. Research different industries. What are you going to study in university? What business are you going to start? Start to actually look into things and experiment. That's how you find your purpose. Am I an actor? I am not. What do you think is important to look for in a church? I want to go to one, but I don't know. I actually have never been to church, so I honestly, but I can't give you an answer on that. But Sonico, one of the coaches in my coaching practice, Coach Ryan, is religious himself. So if you want to shoot me a DM about this, I could refer you over to him, and he'll be able to help you out with the more church-like stuff. How do I hide my wife for a couple weeks? I don't know why you need to hide your wife. How much openness should you have in a relationship, or are there some things that are private? What's your opinion? Oh, I'll give you my opinion on this. You ready? You hide absolutely nothing in your relationship. Because the things that you desire to hide in your relationship, if you hide them for long enough, they will be the downfall of your relationship. I tell my girl about my insecurities. I tell her about the things I'm struggling with. What does every modern dating advice say? Don't open up to your woman because she's going to leave you for another man. If you have a girl that isn't connected to her femininity and she doesn't like to be nurturing and she's a strong, independent woman that doesn't need no man, she will leave you. But my girl loves me very much and she shows up for me every single day. So with that in mind, I can share everything with her. Now that being said, I'm not sitting here if I have an insecurity, I'm not sitting here and complaining to her all day. She'll leave me because of that. But if I just say, hey, I'm having a bad day, or, this thing's been coming up recently, she's there for me, just as I'm there for her. So I think you need to open up about absolutely everything in a relationship. I'm not saying all at once within the first month of the relationship, but throughout the entirety of your relationship, if you're going to be long-term with someone, you can't hide anything from them. You're going to be with this person for the rest of your life. You can't hide aspects and realms of yourself. Because those dark sides of yourself, the shadow part, the dark parts of your soul you don't want to interact with on your own time, that you're afraid of that part of yourself, it will manifest itself in your relationship, destroy everything. And then you'll say, oh my God, what happened? I was communicating with them. No, you weren't. You were communicating this with them. And this part, you refused to. Alright, let's see. Awesome accent. Thanks. I went to the drink, so the friend stops calling me. I think she has something more. Yeah, 123. Can you shoot me a DM about this? I don't really... you phrased your question like 3 times. I still don't understand it. Sorry, Sundu said, I sent the DM, what happens now? So Sundu, what happens is I have, in 30 minutes from now, a group call with my clients. After that, probably an hour and a half later, I'm going to be going through my TikTok DMs, so I'll get back to you. Major Tom said, love is for children. Okay, Major Tom, you're in one of 2 positions. You chose, Tom, you look like you're in your 40s or 50s. I'm not here to drag you or anything like that, but if you're saying love is for children, and let's say you're in your 50s, like it looks like you are in your profile picture, you either married the wrong woman and she divorced you or cheated on you, which may not have been your fault, but you chose the wrong woman, or you barely have any relationship experience and you haven't fallen in love with somebody, and now you're saying love is for children for everybody else because you haven't found it for yourself. It's a quite jaded perspective, so I definitely don't agree with it, but I hope you find love, brother. And if you want help doing it, I'd love to help you out. Shoot me a DM. My boyfriend had a 4-year-long relationship. Should I break up? You're saying your boyfriend before you had a 4-year-long relationship. Should you break up with him? I don't know why you would need to break up with him for that. Is quitting always bad? Well, it depends on what you're quitting. Maybe you're pursuing the wrong direction and then you quit that and do something you care about, and it could be good. But if you give up too quickly, that could be bad. Depends on what you're quitting. Is it good that I want to move out as soon as I turn 18 in December? Well, I don't know what your situation is with your parents and your living situation, so maybe it is good to move out instantaneously, maybe not. I don't know what the in-depth situation is for you. I consider my boyfriend to be my first love because I don't remember my crushes. Yeah, there you go. Hold on, let's see. You're 22, you have crazy retroactive jealousy. Yeah, you can't run away from that. What's the limit on how many partners? All right, this is a good question. Um, what's the limit on how many bodies your partner can have? I mean, look, it's different for everyone. For me, if like my girlfriend slept with nobody before me, but um, if I wasn't in a relationship, I'd say like 4 or 5 people maximum, and they have to be people in like they were in relationships with. If like my girl like just slept with 5 dudes for fun, nah, not happening. That's just for me though. Like everyone's different. How do you know if a guy's really in love? He shows up for you every single day, and he's always there for you. If he breaks up with you and then gets back with you and avoids conversations and blah blah blah, and might not be mature enough for a conversation. For where do I find a drummer? Right here. My drum set's right there. I have a girlfriend, but I think she's texting other guys. What do I do? Help a brother out. What do you mean? Why do you think she's texting other guys? Because if she is, your relationship is already over. But do you have proof that she's texting other guys, or is this just a random thought? Like, what's going on here? Z on YouTube said, "What is bro reading?" TikTok Live. Um, let's see. A girl I used to like seems to get attached and likes every guy that she gets in a close friendship with. Oh yeah, I know those types of women. She loves attention from everybody. Not somebody you want to get in a relationship with. I came across a lot of body count discussions today. Rough topic for a lot of guys apparently. Yeah, a lot of people don't like. A lot of people avoid the conversation around that. You're not good at making friends. Why do you feel like you're not good at making friends? Why is it when I ask for help, everyone pushes me away? If people push you away when you're asking for help, you may not be asking for help. You might be complaining. There's a difference. If you're complaining, people are going to run away. If you're asking for help, they might not have the answer, and that's why they're running away. Most people, in fact, when you ask people, random people for advice, even if they're friends, most people don't have the answer for you. They don't know how to interact with that because they don't know how to interact with it within themselves, so they can't help you. How do you find a girl if you don't go to the club? I went up to my girl at a coffee shop. So I didn't meet her at the club. I did meet my ex-girlfriend at the club. That was the worst relationship I've ever been in. Well, best one if you really think about it in the realms of like learning more about myself. I agree on the openness, but a lot of people want the most crazy things. James said, how do you know all of this advice? I've been studying this stuff and developing my perspectives, research, personal opinions, all this stuff combined for the last 7 to 8 years. How do I build my relationship resume? Don't you have a wife? What do you think are the signs of a long-term relationship? You have core values that actually align with each other, right? You have a shared vision. You guys are willing to be flexible with each other. Here's the thing. I want you to understand something, Roger. There's a difference between flexibility and compromise. Everybody in the relationship says, oh, you have to be able to compromise. No. You compromise a deep part of your values and yourself. You're compromising your soul, and that won't work in a relationship. Flexibility. Here's compromise. Your arm and your values are already at this point, and your girlfriend is trying to push you past that point. Your arm will break eventually. Flexibility is, hey, we're here right now. We're going back and forth, having flexible conversations. I adjust this for you, you adjust this for me. But if you're at the tipping point, you've already done so much for them, they're doing nothing for you, not going to work. So you guys have to have a shared vision and values. Let's see. Now, in my opinion, if you've ever been with someone else, you should get someone who's also been with someone, it's only fair. Well, yeah, if you're playing the fairness conversation in relationships, you're playing a power dynamic, and this isn't going to end well for you. It's not how relationships operate. If you're constantly comparing your partner's past, like their past is important, but like they had one ex-girlfriend or one ex-boyfriend, you're like, oh my god, since they're not a virgin, I can't be with them. Like, what are these narratives you're telling yourself? Who's convinced you of this? Let's see. You got a lot of. How do you know if someone cares about you? They show up for you. Show up for you. Always. I wonder why people mind the body count discussion coming from a one body person. Let's see. James said, did you get with other people before your girlfriend? Yeah, plenty of people. Can an ex-situationship come back if circumstances broke y'all up? We've been on no contact and had a fallout. So, situationship, let's lay the groundwork for this. You were in a situationship, not even a real relationship. You also went on no contact and had a fallout, and now you're like, how do we get back together? Can they come back? I think you might be with the wrong person. That being said, I don't know what the in-depth situation is, so if you want to shoot me a DM about this, walking me through the details, I'd love to give you like a more in-depth perspective. Advice for a people pleaser? Well, you have to understand that you derive your value from pleasing people, from answering their questions, from giving them things, for paying for them, right? And in a sense, when you're a people pleaser, it's more selfish than it is for the other person. You're not people pleasing them because you care about them. You're doing it because you feel insufficient if you don't do it. So you have to reflect a little bit deeper about where this came from. Did it come from my childhood? Like my parents never showed me love. And I needed to constantly prove myself to people. Start to break that narrative. When somebody asks you to do something for them and you genuinely don't want to do it, it doesn't align with you, stop saying yes. Start saying no a little bit more. That's going to be a really good starting place for you. Hi, tell me, how can I trust someone again? Because the last partner cheated on me. Well, Ayuk, how to trust someone again? You have to look at the signs and develop a deep relationship with your intuition, because as a woman, you naturally connect to that, right? So if your past partner cheated on you, it's not about, oh my god, I don't trust men anymore, I can't have like all men are going to potentially cheat on me. No, look at the patterns of what your past partner did, because you're going to see that there's multiple things that they did, not always, but most of the time there's multiple things that they did to show you that it was a precursor to the cheating coming, and you weren't paying attention to that. So if you reflect on that, find some of those answers. Okay, my future partner doesn't do any of those things. Also, you can have conversations with your partner about this. Like, you're not going to go to your partner and say like, "Oh, are you cheating on me?" Right? Because that's just going to piss him off. When you get into your next relationship, tell him about what happened. Right? Don't try to hide it, because then he'll understand and he'll be able to be there for you and give you reassurance. Right? Where am I from? I'm from the U.S. Everyone thinks I'm weird because I'm a girl and I don't understand. You don't understand what? What do you think about avoidant attachment in a relationship? It needs to be worked on, or else your relationship will fail. They need to be more open. Doesn't have to happen overnight, but you have to have conversations. What to do when feeling lost after finishing university? Well, if you're feeling lost after you finish university, you never connected to anything while you were in university. Are you going to use your degree at all? Or did you just go? And now you have to find a completely different path. Ollie, if you want to shoot me a DM about this, would love to dive into it with you. James said, why don't you take it to the next level, though, in a university? You could get loads more info. I did go to university, and I dropped out because the information I was studying there, you could find on Google. University is very outdated. I'm not saying that for everybody, but a lot of the 4-year degree for a psychology degree, I know more than most people graduating with a 4-year psychology degree. Now, so I'm not going to compare myself to somebody with a doctorate. They definitely have certain information that I don't, absolutely. But I've had really unintelligent people come on these TikTok lives saying like, you don't know what you're talking about. I got a psychology degree, and the information they're providing me has been proved false by psychology time and time again. So don't worry. Like I study psychology in all these different realms every single day of my life to constantly level myself up and help my clients more. But no, I'm never going back to university. I hate school. How do you determine who's the alpha and beta in a relationship. If you're playing that dynamic and you view your relationship partner as a beta, you have a big problem. You're either exceptionally egotistical or you just aren't attracted to your partner. How can you tell about Destiny Swap? What is that? I want to recommend you to watch Chantel Hyde here on TikTok. It's a perspective to research. Yeah, Vera, shoot me a DM about her. I've never heard of her or him. Let's see. Let's skip past all the troll comments and get to something good. But if you've never been with another, then they should pick someone who also hasn't. It's not always true. Hi, bro, I have social anxiety. Okay, cool. I used to have social anxiety all the time. Take very small steps to get yourself out of your comfort zone. Very small steps. Do not try and go up to a girl and ask her for her number because you feel like you're so stuck. Just walk past somebody, say, hey, enjoy the rest of your day, and keep walking. It'll start to help you recognize people aren't as scary as you think they are. And most social anxiety stems from either bad past experiences or you just haven't really talked to people that much. And most of us, I want to give you guys a new perspective. You ready for this? When we were kids, they taught you not to talk to strangers. There was value in that, right? Because you don't know what the stranger is. You're a kid. You can't defend yourself. Fair play, right? Here's the thing. When you're a kid, your subconscious is active. You're in a brainwave state called theta, where your subconscious is just downloading information. Average age is when you're born to like 7 years old. But like 7 to 14, 15 years old, you're obviously still very much maturing, and after that too, but you're more malleable then. Anyway, you're told don't talk to strangers as a kid. This creates a program in the back of your mind. If you're most of you guys in here are adults now, right? You're still afraid to talk to strangers. Strangers are still afraid to talk to you. It's awkward. It's weird. Why? Because that program that they told you, don't talk to strangers when you were younger, everybody still believes that. You're still influenced by it. So you have to break the pattern. Alrighty. I'm getting blank. I'm the BFF of someone who did something awful. I'm being torn between sides. All right, Darcy, shoot me a DM about it, about the situation. We'll be able to dive into it. I get overwhelmed when guys approach me or call it a date. What to do? Mel, how comfortable do you feel within your sexuality? This is a serious question. How comfortable do you feel being attracted to men? Some people are actually like feel they have a negative association to this, and it's like they're just like you might be afraid of men. I'm not saying that's the case for you, just a perspective to reflect upon. If you feel overwhelmed, now being said, overwhelmed when guys approach you, maybe you had an experience in the past where a guy made you feel unsafe, and now your mind is projecting that idea onto all men, which is possible, right? And as a woman in this modern day and age, you have to protect yourself. Having a little bit of fear around this and taking precautions is not a bad idea. But if you're overwhelmed when they call it a date, are you afraid of love? Are you afraid of falling in love? Are you afraid of connection? Everyone says, oh, how could you be afraid of connection? People literally, I was on a session with one of my coaches, and it was a group session, and this girl in her late 20s says, I broke up with my boyfriend because he was so good to me. Now, logically, you're hearing that, you're like, this makes no sense. No, it does make sense because she doesn't feel worthy of true love, so she sabotages it. This stuff is real, guys. Mel, if you're struggling with this, shoot me a follow and a DM about this. We'd love to dive into it with you further and help you out. I've never had a girlfriend before, but my type of girl is kind of difficult to get. What's your type of girl? I need help with my girl who cheated on me. Never talk to her again. How to be not so cynical about dating is a really good question. Well, you're only cynical about dating because you've had a few bad past experiences, which is not encompassing of all people. Or you're watching too many videos on social media, and if you're a man, you're watching too many videos of girls going, oh my god, I don't want a man, or he needs to make $10 million a year for me to look in his direction. All this is BS. The women that are saying that on social media are gladly sleeping with guys who make negative $10 an hour and treat them like garbage. So stop listening to things on social media. I know I'm giving you advice on social media, so it's like, oh, bro, I'm not going to listen to you then. You understand what I'm saying. But yeah, understand that your cynicalness about, is that a word, cynicalness, about dating, you don't have enough information to be cynical about it. You got to develop yourself further. Starting to work on rewriting blank. Please shoot me a DM about this, Jade. We can't talk about that on live. Alright. Alright, guys, I got about 10 more minutes with you before I got a session with my clients. Let's see. Hold on. Alright, for those of you guys that are repeating your comments, please don't do that. It makes it very difficult for me. If you threw a comment down below, I'm either going to get to it, and if it's not a serious question, I'm going to skip over you, so don't throw it down 10 times. How to handle a manipulative partner. You have to confront them on their manipulation. And if they're the manipulator, then you're the victim. And that's not how a relationship operates. That's a power dynamic. That's a struggle. If your partner's manipulating you, depending on what it is, you have to confront the behavior. If they don't change it, you have to leave. It's not where relationships are not to manipulate each other. It's to build together. So K Moon, if you want to shoot me a follow and a DM about the in-depth details of how this manipulation is occurring, love to help you out with it. Let's see. We already got to these questions. Ignoring those questions. What else? Sir, how can I get rich with ads using AI? Do you have any ideas? Yeah, I run a marketing agency. Shoot me a DM about it. All right. Is there a chance to find a man if I have kids? Yes, Tatiana or Tatiana. It is possible. Now, on average, your average guy does not want a woman who has kids already because he wants kids of his own. But it is not impossible by any means. Yeah, you can absolutely. And I would love to, if you want to shoot me a follow and a DM about the situation that you're in and what happened with your last partner, and if you're trying to date a guy now, we'd love to dive into it. Nikhil said, "Is this recorded?" It is not. How in depth can I get? With what? Brad, don't ignore me. I'm gonna keep ignoring you because you're not asking serious questions. Unless you, I don't know, maybe I missed your question, man. If it's not a troll one. 62-year-old male. How do I start building my girlfriend's resume? What do you mean? Oh, your girlfriend resume. You're 62 years old. Have you been in a relationship at all? My girl left me after 3 hours. How do I cope with this breakup? She left you after being together for 3 hours? All right, let's see. Advice on retroactive jealousy. We already dived into that. So if you want to shoot me a DM about it to get my further opinion on it, feel free to shoot me a message. Appreciate the gift, Virgil. All right. Alrighty. How does one stop obsessing over someone? Well, if you're obsessing over your relationship partner, that's not a bad thing. If you're obsessing over somebody that you've never had a conversation with, you have to have a conversation with them. Or stop living in delusional land and fairy tale land. Come back to reality. You and Jack should go live soon. That's not going to happen. Jack and I are not going to go live together. I got banned last time. What's a good age gap? Likely you want to be a few years together, close together, but it's not anyone in particular. Brad, why do you hate me? I do not hate you. You just don't ask serious questions, so I'm not answering them. Sabrina said, "Is blank healthy?" Doctors say it is. I think if you do it once in a while, sure, but like multiple times a week, probably not. It's neither. So then, silly. What is the in-depth details of this? What's going on? I have childhood trauma that I have a ton of therapy on, but I feel healthy. You've done a ton of therapy on, but you feel healthy. Okay, so you feel like you've made progress? Is that what you're saying? Thoughts on getting over a traumatic event? Depends on what it is. So, G, if you want to shoot me a follow and a DM about what the situation was, would love to dive into it with you. Is it a red flag if I'm avoidant over text to the girl I'm dating? Why? Well, you're asking me a question that you know the answer to. Why are you avoiding her? Brad, how do I get ladies? Well, first thing you want to do is go up and have a conversation with one. Is 63 and 28 a decent age gap? I'd say it's a pretty big age gap. But if you're in love, you're in love. I'm not here to try to take away from that. Is it okay to miss my ex when in a relationship? Yes, because it shows that you haven't processed your relationship. My therapist of 4 years that I'll stop seeing soon. It's gonna end for a lot of reasons, but yeah, silly. If you want to shoot me a follow and a DM about this, I'd love to dive into it with you. Feel like a part of it's healthy, and I don't know what to do to be fully healed. Yeah, Kristen, if you want to shoot me a follow and a DM about like the situation in depth, I'd love to dive into it with you and help you heal on it more. Alrighty. It's 8:50. How do I mog my ex-girlfriend? That's a crazy question. It's a crazy question. Alright, I don't think I have WhatsApp on this computer, so let me grab my other computer. Hold on. Go on your villain arc? Definitely not a good idea. Definitely not a good idea. Favorite color? Turquoise. For our session. In 10 minutes. Here's WhatsApp. Alright. Yeah, that's a crazy statement, bro. It's a crazy statement. Alright, guys, I'm just sending my clients a link real quick. The Power of the Subconscious Mind. I spelt that wrong. Subconscious Mind Masterclass. In 10 minutes. Here's the link to join. You won't want to miss this session. There we go. Trying to hide 8,000 cigarettes and get them through an airport. Any advice? Yeah, I don't know how to help you out with that one, buddy. Going on a first date on Valentine's Day. Let's go. But we've hung out a few times. Do I get him something? Why not? Get him something small. You don't got to spend a lot of money. Show him you care. How many Dark Nights of the Souls have you been through? Oh my god. I don't know. Maybe like 2? 2 or 3? Do I have any plans for Valentine's Day? Yeah, me and my girl are going on a little trip. Going away for 2.5, 3 days? How expensive should the first birthday present be? It's not about the price of it, it's about the level of care and love that goes into it. Bro flaky? What? Brad got a girl? I do. I'm in the process of moving from my cheating girlfriend. What should I do to keep moving on? Ryan, shoot me a follow and a DM about this. I have multiple lectures I did in my group coaching practice about processing heartbreak and processing pain. So I'll shoot those lectures over to you. That'll be super helpful to help you move on. Only life coach I trust. Glad it resonates. How do I choose between maintaining my OG Fortnite account and tending to my wife? Yo, OG Fortnite account? Yo, that's worth a lot, bro. It's worth a lot. What do guys like getting? I don't know what to get guys. Honestly, as long as it's something that, like, I don't know. Best gift you could get him is tell him you're proud of him. But if this is like an early stage of the relationship, what did my girlfriend got me 4 of my favorite drinks for our last Valentine's Day. She also got me a mini stuffed animal. And my girlfriend actually just texted me. That's crazy. Crazy timing. She texted me something that I can't list off on this live. Let's see. Is it normal for my girlfriend to act mean and treat me bad when she's mad? That's not my about stuff that's not my fault. No, shows that she's not integrated with her emotions. She has to work on that. My girlfriend is beautiful? Question mark. She's beautiful. She's hot. She's everything. Yeah, that's a crazy comment, bro. That's so. Yeah, Claudia. That stuff could help, and if you're enjoying the live, shoot me a follow. We'd love to see you back on here. We go live 7 days a week, guys. For any of you guys that are in here new. Is being alone and lonely a part of healing? To a certain degree, yes. There's parts of myself I had to heal, I guess you could say, and it took me like a year to do it by myself without dating. How can you make someone realize they're deep in a victim mentality? You have to point out the very obvious things about how they're sabotaging themselves. Oh, YouTube's asking where I'm reading the comments. We have TikTok live on my other phone. Got to set up for my. All right, guys. I am going to head off for the evening. I got a session with my clients in 5 minutes from now. So if you did not get your question answered, shoot me a follow and shoot me a DM about it. We'll see you guys on the TikTok live tomorrow. It's going to be about 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So in about 15 minutes from the time it is now, tomorrow, that's when we'll be live. That's when my sessions end. So shoot me a follow, shoot me a DM. Any further questions you guys have, we'll see you on the TikTok live tomorrow and the YouTube live tomorrow. I love you guys very much. I appreciate you. And if you're interested in coaching, we always do a completely free intro coaching session. And you might be able, any women that are on this live, we just started a women's group where we're diving into self-growth, advancing your relationships, dating. The women's group is completely free for like the first 30 women that join. So we have about 15 girls in there. So if you're a woman and you want free coaching and you want to transform your life, shoot me a DM. The men, sorry, you guys got to pay for it. But you have a week free trial. We do a week free trial for our men's group. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, but I'll see you guys tomorrow hopping off. Peace out. Love you guys very much. Shoot me a DM about coaching, about problems you're going through. I'll help you out. And see you guys very soon. Peace out, guys. Shoot me a follow.